Hello friends, we are back with another movie. Ridley Scott's film about Roman General Maximus, played by Russell Crowe, who loses everything, his career, his family, his home, only to rise from the ashes as a slave and ultimately take down the evil Emperor Commodus, played by Joaquin Phoenix. This movie showed just how compelling these films could be. So let's start without giving you any further spoilers, although this entire video is actually a spoiler, so yeah, here you go. Well, it's Germania, and it's 180 AD.
People should know when they're conquered.
The Romans, under the leadership of their strutly general Maximus, played by Russell Crowe, are preparing for one final battle against the frankly terrifying Germanic tribes. But the promise of peace looms. The Romans easily defeat their enemy in a bloody fight. After the battle, Marcus Aurelius and Maximus talk. They are clearly old friends, and later in the evening, Marcus Aurelius tells Maximus that he would like him to take over control after he dies, which is a big thing for the general as well as the king. He is adamant that his son Commodus, who has recently arrived in Germania with his sister Lucilia, he will not rule because he is not a moral man. Maximus decides that he will think it over and he leaves the tent. In the meantime, Commodus is informed that he won't be the next emperor. In a hissy fit of rage and grief, he smothers his father and then he lies about it. Maximus just knows something evil has happened, but before he can rally his troops and serve justice, Commodus has him arrested and taken for execution. It's not really clearly why Commodus has him arrested, but it definitely has something to do with the fact that Commodus knows Maximus suspects something. It's the old get rid of your enemies and the evidence routine. Can't change it. It's evident and it's universal. Anyways, Maximus vanquishes his executioners and then races back to Spain. Commodus, however, beats him to the punch. Roman praetorians have already slaughtered Maximus's family and everybody in the neighborhood. And Maximus is besides himself. He buries his family and passes out, and he is in deep grief. A slave caravan picks him up, and when he's awake, he's somewhere in the desert. Soon we learn that he's in Africa, on the outskirts of the Roman Empire. He's purchased along with the other slaves by a slave owner entertainer named Proximo. During his first training session at Proximo's house come training camp, Maximus refuses to fight. We get the impression that he's just planning on standing around and getting killed so the misery will be over for him. Everything changed once he's thrust into the arena, where he decides to defend himself and ultimately distinguishes himself. Meanwhile, Commodus arrives back in Rome, entering like a conquering hero. According to Senator Gracchus, played by Derek Jacobi, Commodus has his first meeting with the Senate, and it's clear that he even thought he pretends to care about the people. All he really cares about is his power. Lucilia, who has some ideas of what really happened to their father, acts as an intermediary between Commodus and the senators. Commodus knows he needs to do something to consolidate power, and he decides to stage a series of gladiator games to honor his late father and give the people the kind of spectacle and excitement they want and crave. Back in Africa, Maximus wins another major battle. He's clearly not happy about the way things have turned out, and angrily throws a sword onto the stands, screaming, "Are you not entertained?" It's epic. And yes, Russell Crowe is screwing the whole time. He's so much into the character. The gladiator caravan arrives in Rome. Their first competition is a reenactment of one of the battles of Carthage. They're supposed to play the role of the losers, but end up destroying their competition. Commodus is pleased and goes down to meet the famous Spaniard. Yes, they call the gladiator Spaniard. He discovers that the Spaniard is Maximus, and the two have a strange confrontation. Commodus is in disbelief and Maximus promises revenge. The crowd loves Maximus already, and Commodus can't kill him because that would be political suicide. Lucilius glimpsed a ray of hope in Maximus's survival and visits him later that night. He has no interest in talking with her because he thinks she was accomplice in Commodus's plans. She wants him to meet with the senator, but he refuses. He's not interested in her plans or in helping Rome. The next we see of him, he's fighting in the arena again. This time against a famous gladiator who's come out of retirement, Tigress of Gaul, played by Seminole Horson, and 4 angry tigers. Yes, you heard it right. They were tigers. After leaving the arena, Maximus' former assistant, Cicero, finds him and gives him some small statue of his family. Maximus tells Cicero to come and find him in the near future. He's essentially telling him to show up at the gladiators' quarters so they can talk more. Commodus is really angry with Maximus and the crowd. He knows he cannot just kill Maximus. His man from the Senate tells him a story about a special sea snake that lies in wait even while its enemies take bites out of it. Commodus will do the same. He orders every senator followed in the meantime because he is a paranoid and sweaty jerkbag, which is actually true. He is a douchebag. Cicero visits Maximus and telling him the Maximus soldiers are camped at Ostia but would be ready to fight for him. Maximus gives him a mission. Cicero flags down Lucilia and tells her that Maximus will meet with her senator. Lucilia and Senator Gracchus visits Maximus. It's very hush-hush. Maximus proposes a plan. Buy his freedom so he can ride out to his men and return with an army to kill Commodus and restore republican rule. Gracchus is wary at first, but ultimately agrees to the plan. He knows there's really no other option. Commodus is basically sporting a forehead tattoo that reads, "I am evil incarnate" at this point. Shortly after, Gracchus is arrested. Lucilia visits Maximus again and tells him the plot must move forward immediately because Commodus is starting to figure things out. She kisses Maximus before departing. While she's away visiting with Maximus, her son Lucius is back at the palace. Lucius is playing with a wooden sword, and when Commodus asks him what he's doing, he says he's playing Gladiator and playing the role of Maximus, the savior of Rome. Commodus, his suspicion aroused, asks him who referred to him as the savior. He knows what's up, what's going on. When Lucilia returns, Commodus lets her know that he knows that something fishy is up, and basically threatens to kill those dearest to her if she doesn't tell him what's going on. She tells him everything off screen. Yeah, boo Lucilia. Proximo visits Maximus and lets him out of his cell. He's changed his mind, probably because Maximus told him the truth about who killed Marcus Aurelius. Maximus's gladiator friends assists in his escape, which is hampered by the arrival of the Roman soldiers. Yeah, it's a bad thing to do actually. Proximo is killed by them, and Maximus makes it outside the city walls. He sees Cicero on a horse. He calls out Maximus's name and is then hung. Maximus rushes to save him, but it's too late. Cicero is shot with arrows and Maximus is recaptured. Well, this is the shortest escape ever, by the way. Commodus visits him beneath the Colosseum and tells him that they'll fight in the arena. Before the battle, Commodus stabs him in the back. Literally, this guy is a snake. This guy's a fucking snake. And orders Quintus to cover up the wound. Maximus and Commodus fight, with Maximus eventually killing him. Yeah, you heard it right. He freaking kills him. Good shot. Good shot, Maximus. Maximus, however, succumbs to his wounds. Before he dies, he orders Senator Gracchus reinstated and expresses Marcus Aurelius' final wish that Rome be a republic again. Celia rushes down and orders that he, being honored as a soldier of Rome, he arrives in the afterlife and greets his wife and son. I know it's not the happiest ending in the world, but we are willing to bet that you will be hitting the gym harder for a week or two after doing this. Because yeah, it matters. The chaos, the emotions, the revenge, it all matters. You know, sometimes movies can be so compelling that they will make you think about the freedom we have, about the facilities we have. Anyways, we'll be back with more stuff like this and to keep you indoors without getting bored. Well, I hope you liked my summary and really hope that you all will share this video with your gang. Please subscribe to get more cool stuff and don't forget to leave your valuable feedback in the comments below. You have a lovely day. You have